Surprise, surprise, more corruption on the Supreme Court. Who is it this time? It's Alito. Actually, again, he's been in the news quite a bit recently. Specifically, this isn't about Alito himself. This is about his wife, who was involved in a land lease mineral exchange sort of thing that we have to talk about. So Ann Bomgardner Alito is the individual. So a year ago, she decided to see if a 160-acre plot of land that she owned would produce oil. In a lease filed with the Grady County clerk, she entered into an agreement with Citizen Energy for revenue generated from oil and gas that were obtained from the land that she inherited from her late father. This is the sort of lease that there are many of in Oklahoma, literally thousands of oil and gas leases. It's a big energy producing state. Last year, before the lease was activated, a line in Alito's financial disclosures labeled mineral interests valued between $100,000 and $250,000. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think I can speak for all of us. We all have mineral interests valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. If extraction on the plot proves fruitful, then Citizen Energy will now pay Alito's wife 3/16 of all the money that it makes from oil and gas sales on that land. And the interesting thing here is that in the past, Alito has actually, perhaps more so than some of the other Supreme Court justices, been willing to recuse himself from cases that pose a potential financial conflict of interest, generally having to do with the fact that he has very broad investments. So there's a lot of different areas where, in theory, his financial interests could come into play. But because Citizen Energy isn't implicated in any cases directly before the Supreme Court, this isn't a thing that we would expect that he would have to recuse himself from. But the issue is that there's like specific conflicts of interest and then there are conflicts of interest. His wife now has this investment. Larger regulations having to do with oil and gas. Any decision that affects the oil and gas industry will have an effect on her financial interests. And so how broad will his recusals actually be? And bear in mind, this guy also has often, Alito, I mean, ruled against the EPA, sort of setting the stage potentially for more money to be generated in these sorts of cases. And so as we're in this time, Cenk, where people I think are paying more attention than usual to conflicts of interest in the Supreme Court, like I really think that we need to broaden our idea of what these conflicts of interest are. And I think the time has come to talk about what we've been talking about over the last few years with Congress, where should they be able to own individual investments when they have so much unchecked, singular, lifelong power to affect so many different areas of the American economy?
Yeah, first of all, the number of times that powerful people have been involved in a land lease mineral deal that wasn't corrupt is zero. Okay, so look, there's a difference between the dude you see at the beach trying to find the coins with that little thing that, okay, you're a regular dude, you're doing that in your backyard, and you're trying to find your land lease minerals, have at it, hoss, okay? You're a Supreme Court justice's wife, and with a giant benefactor, you do a land lease mineral exploration. I got news for you. They're gonna find something there. Either they're gonna find oil, hey, congratulations, you're like the beach dude, you hit the jackpot, or they're gonna pretend they found something and they're gonna hand you a giant sum of money one way or another, because everything is gonna be okay, okay?
Yeah.
So don't tell me that this is a normal situation. No way. This biases Alito in a massive way, in all the ways that you described, John, but look, at this point, there's two justices that are completely lost. Alito and Thomas, they're just basically saying, yeah, we're corrupt. We never told you about it. We've been lying the whole time. We take enormous money from billionaires. And it's not a coincidence that we rule in favor of them literally every single time. Yeah. So they're basically going, what are you gonna do about it?
I agree with you. I will just throw out there, I think I've been attacked / mocked quite harshly by, I believe, Brett Ehrlich for this point. But and I get that this is crazy under our current system, but why is it crazy to propose something like not a vow of poverty, but a vow of not insane radical affluence for our public servants? Why should the expectation be that if you are going to be given massive, often unchecked power, that we can't have a broad expectation that you will not personally profit off of it. That you can have the power and the influence and the platform and all of that, but we expect that you will not become or expand your wealth while maintaining that power. That Nancy Pelosi can be a congresswoman for literally decades, and she can make a living. Obviously, she's not gonna be on the street, but you cannot make hundreds of millions of dollars by parlaying your power. Like, why is that crazy? Especially for Supreme Court justices that have that power for the rest of their life, that we wouldn't expect that they have to maintain a lifestyle like regular people.
Well, to be honest, John, it is a little crazy. And
what is it?
Yeah, and the reason is,
what is
then look, these folks are in a situation where, and you could say this is right or wrong or whatever, but they can make millions of dollars at a law firm, at corporations, etc. It is what it is. We might not like it, but it's true. If you say to them, hey, you're only gonna make whatever it is, like let's say $200,000, which is a lot to the average person, but to their class, not that much at all, it's gonna encourage them to be more corrupt. So that's number one, that's a huge problem that I have. And number two, I think they should be able to, have investments like everybody else, but blind trust makes sense. Making sure that they don't know, if their investments are going to be affected by the decisions in front of them, whether they're the Supreme Court or Congress, that makes a lot of sense. So you could put some safeguards in, but if you say you can't invest at all or you can't own anything, nobody, like I'm keeping it real with you, people that went to Ivy Leagues, literally none of them are going to want to do it. And so you could say good riddance to them, but I'm just keeping it real with you.
I mean, I think that then maybe we would only get people that genuinely care about the position. Is that the worst thing? I don't know. Anyway, just opening up a conversation. Let's talk about it. I like your idea though. I'll consider that a stepping stone towards my dystopic ideal. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.